Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the May version of All About the Base. So this month we are featuring the grid design. So for those who are not familiar with the grid design, this is where you'll take a piece of paper and you kind of section it off in pieces. So today, if you saw Moira's, she used 4 pictures and did her grid in 4 quadrants. If you were looking at a cut apart sheet, technically this is a grid design because you have a 12 by 12 piece of paper and then you have it blocked and sectioned off. So we're going to do the same thing. However, we're going to use photos to accomplish that. So the way I have found it the easiest is to make sure that all of my pictures are a similar dimension. So for example, all of my photos today, and I don't know if I'll use all of them, I have my 2 focal photos, which are 4 by 4, and then I have my supporting roll photos, as I want to call them. These are like pictures of the details that help support the layout and what story I'm telling. And these I will go ahead and add to this layout. Now for this one, I'm going to be putting it all on a white background, and we're going to go through and we'll find the best way that we can put these on here with then having supporting pictures around it. So for example, I could put the picture of me and my sister-in-law in the middle and then have my husband in the bottom, or we could go ahead and have him next to us like this and then do all the supporting around it, which is what I kind of think I'll do. But what you're going to do is the other papers that you add in, you're going to add in the same sizes. So if you were looking at this, I could go, if I wanted to do a grid layout, I could go and add a 4 by 12 piece of paper because I'm taking 3 of my 4 by 4 blocks and I can use the same pattern paper. I could make each one of these 4 by 4 blocks a different color. And then within here, I'm then going to add my detailing photos. So this is us when we went to a place called H2KAKWS Harbor or H2K Haven. So for this one, I'll probably want to put the H2K Haven in the corner because that is the name of the place. I think I have a picture of it. So I could go ahead and add a picture to it in that quarter. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add photos where I think that they'll fit in. So here I could add another one up here and here. These are 2 of the animals. And as you can see, the one photo is not quite 2 by 2, so I might have to do a little trimming. I could then add over here, I could go and have these more of like the pictures of the location here. We have we had a cocktail. And then I could go ahead and add another picture here, and maybe another the alligator picture here. So as you can see, this big focal picture, these take center stage. The rest of them are supporting characters, and then how you go and you put the paper behind it is up to you. You could use one whole solid sheet. I like kind of mixing it up and changing them up. This is a great time to use scraps because now you can go ahead and get in there. And like I said, this one's a little bit bigger, so I may have to trim that down and kind of even it off. But you kind of get the idea of spreading it out. Now you have blank areas that you could add your title. You could add your journaling somewhere in here. You can add your embellishments, all depending on what you put in the background. But basically, you're going to coordinate it off so that you can have your little sections. Like I said, some people will do like 6 by 6 in each of the corners and then put a picture in each one. And then what you're basically doing, it's like 4 little mini layouts. Or here, if I do my 4 by 4 little sections, I now have 12 4 by 4 sections on my 12-inch page. Hopefully that didn't confuse the heck out of you. So now what I'm going to do is go through my scraps, and I'm going to look for things that I want to add. Now again, this one's 4 inches. So maybe I want to go and have this one be 2 boxes. Or maybe I want it to be 1 box. You know, you just kind of got to pick and choose what you want to do. So I think I'm going to first go through. I know there was this jungle paper, and I really like this, and this gives the feel of H2KAKWS because it was a boat ride. And I'm thinking I want it to be the 4 by 8. So I'm going to go ahead and block that. Now, keep in mind, I can always trim it down. I can't, you know, add more to it. So if I decide that I don't like having that as a whole 8-inch block as I'm making it, let's say it's too hard to embellish, I'm just not finding it works, I can go ahead and trim it up and make it into a 4-inch block. So we're going to go ahead and put that there. We'll put H2KAKWS in the corner. Now these little the pictures, you can also go in if you wanted, and you could mat those. Now, looking over here, I see that I have my cut apart sheet, and I think what I'm going to do is cut this one out and use that for my journaling or to build my title right below those smaller photos. And that kind of adds it to the center of the page. So let's go ahead and see what we want to do with that. All right. So I have this. If I was to put that down as it was, it would be go over the edge. But what I think I'm going to do is just cut around this green edge and leave a little bit of the cream. And that's going to bring it in and kind of give it that box. I mean, like I said, hopefully I'm not confusing you when you do it, because again, the grid I find is one of those that is great, especially if you want to feature a lot of those detailed photos, but you don't want to make 20 different, you know, scrapbook layouts. You go to the zoo and you have 20 pictures of the animals. You don't need to have one page of the monkeys and 1 page of the elephants. You can go and use some of these apps that we have and bring them down to a smaller size, and then, you know, spread them out. Let's see. Now, so we have that kind of going here. So now I have to figure out what I want over in here. Now I tend to like to mirror, so I have a big one here. Maybe I want to go and do something over here. I could take this small scrap and add that then to the bottom. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm pulling that to the side. I'm still using scraps, and we're getting that visual going. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a 4-inch piece. And now that is going to go here. And as you can see, because I'm keeping these in similar sizes, like I said, the 4 by 4 you can split in half. You could have a 2 by 4 picture. You could have 4 2 by 2 pictures, however it works. Now I've got that going over here, and that coordinates. Now let's go through the other paper pad and see what other colors or papers that I have that I want to pull in. So we have somewhere that we can either title or journal. And let's see. I kind of like this orangey color because that's in the food. We have nachos and it's also in the sign. And so if I could find something that has that brighter orange in it, and here we go. We have this and we have the floral. So for a solid, again, I'm going to be thinking about what I need to do. I'm going to need to journal. Well, I can do that here. So if I cut a 2x4 piece to put here out of the orange, now I have kind of a solid place that I can do my journaling. So let's go ahead and cut a 2-inch piece. And then we'll cut it to 4 inches. And now we can go ahead and add that here. Now I have this little blib right here. So we need something else. And then I'm thinking again to carry up. What I may do is I think I'm going to switch these because these are both the same bird. So I think I'll take the alligator and put it down here. And then we'll put the picture of the crane up here. And then let's cut another piece down here that's 2x4. And then I have this floral that cut off, and maybe we'll add that here. All right, let's go ahead and cut another 2-inch piece. And 4-inch. All right, now I gotta decide, do I wanna go floral here? And that's springing from down there, or do I wanna go with the orange? I think for now I'm going to go with the orange. And let's see. Now, let's see. I need something up here and something down here. Let's see what else we've got. I do have this piece that has the, I can go either way. So let's do 2 4-inch pieces. I'll go with 4 inches there. Oh, I thought that was a 4x4. Why is it not measuring right? My paper might be off too. It is 4x4. We may have to do some trimming with this paper. All right, so we're going to put that there. And then let's do another. Let's do a, we only need a 2-inch. So there's a 2x4 down there. Now I just have to decide if I want the florals. I think if I was to do it, I would turn the florals that way. That way the pink is diagonal and the orange is a little bit further away. All right, we're gonna go with this, and I'm gonna start adhering some things down. And then we decorate. So because the paper underneath might not be quite perfect and some of the pictures might not be perfect 2x2, I'm going to start in the one corner and start building so that I have one end that I can adjust. So for example, my husband is sitting next to the door on the boat. That can come off if it wasn't quite right. And I do know that one picture, we might have to do a little trimming up on that one as well. So let's just see if they're all measuring out 2 by 2. Those look really good. So we'll just go ahead and tape these down. The other thing that you can do too is add washi. Washi is your friend. So if you get a little area that you need to kind of finagle or whatever, cover it with an embellishment, cover it with washi, and it will hide any imperfections that you may have when you're putting it together. All right, so let's go ahead and put this one down. See, and I can already tell at the top we've got a little bit, and even on this side, but I can overlap pictures to kind of bring it in a little. I'll go ahead and center this. And now for this Schnucks Haven picture, I'm going to measure it to here, because I know I'm going to have to take a little off the top. So I'm going to measure it with that. I'm not pushing it down. I'm not tacking it really hard. And it looks like this one's a little off too. So let's see. Okay. Looks like one of these pictures just wasn't quite big enough. So another thing we can do, because it doesn't have to be perfectly gridded, if that's a word, I'm going to bring these in. Now it looks intentional, and I'm just overlapping them. And again, I'll add embellishments, and no one will know that my photos cut a little bit different in size. So now we're going to go ahead and start in the next column, going across the bottom. And just kind of lining it up. And next. All right. So looking at this one, it's just got a little bit of an overlap. And so what I'm going to do is overlap the paper just a tad and bringing it in. And kind of splitting the difference so that I get a cleaner line going up. And I think part of that is because I'm using the photo, I use the Project Life app, and they may not have divided it up perfect into the 2 by 2 squares versus you going in with your trimmer and actually cutting the pictures down. So sometimes, like I said, you just kind of have to finagle them. And again, if you have somebody come in that's going to come in and look at your album and go, oh my goodness gracious, that picture is not a perfect 2 by 2. And look at that gap you have between that paper and that picture. That person doesn't need to be looking at your album, Yeah, they do not need to be your friend. So they're truly not. They're going to get your page. They're going to go, oh, look at how happy you guys were. Oh, look at the cool animals and things you saw. They're not going to get that tricky when it comes to analyzing your page. You will, because you got your nose right into it, but they won't. And I say that, my sister Lori's probably right now talking to the TV saying, but I will. And let's see. Now we're going to go ahead and add Dan. And again, I don't know if it's the cuts that I did or this paper from Hobby Lobby. We're going to clean up the edges. And I'm going to go ahead and put this one down first and then add the photos, and I can maneuver them around so that I can trim. And I think I'm going to put the alligator to the inside because I'm going to put that bird there. By putting these pictures to the inside, when I go to do the trimming on it, I won't be taking off anything important. And like, these are just people that were sitting on the boat. I don't know any of them. And so therefore, I don't care if one of them gets cut off or whatever. I just have that picture so that I can get the feel of what it was like riding on the river boat ride and seeing the, you know, the Everglades and the location. Okay, this has got to be spread over just a little. I'm going to add a little bit more gap to it because these just feel like two smaller photos. All right, so let's go ahead and trim up what we can. And again, I don't care if I bring my layout in a little bit smaller in my album. It's not going to be that much that it's going to make a big difference. You could even, if you wanted to clean it off, you could bring it in 1/4 of an inch on each side and put a frame around the outside. However you want to clean it up, it will all work. I'm just kind of giving it a clean edge. And got one more at the top. And again, I'm not cutting off anything from the photos or the paper that's going to make any difference on this layout and affect the way it looks. All right, so here we go. We have this big, huge grid with all the, you know, pictures. I'm going to go ahead and move all of this extra stuff out of the way here. Now, one of the things that I did pull out that I've had in my stash forever is this that I got, gosh, Hobby Lobby. And this was like years and years ago. Now, we were not in the Everglades, but we were, there's different animals and things in here that I'm going to use to decorate. So I know that we saw pelicans, we saw alligators, we saw turtles. I think we even saw a snake. So I'm going to try and put as many of these on because, again, I've had this like forever. So I think what I'm going to do, like this one here, I'm kind of going to put him here, and then, like I said, I can do my journaling about seeing the alligators. I really like mangroves. There were mangroves in there. Gosh, these are even not wanting to come off. think what I'm going to do is take this one up, put this little mangrove tree right here, put this over the top of it again, and I'm okay with it overlapping the different sections. And we can add a bird here because it's by the birds. And let's see, we've got the pelican I'm not going to use because there's actually pelicans that come through my area in Illinois on their way to nest. And so I think it would be kind of cool to keep it. I have pictures. We went scrapbooking at one of our retreats, and afterwards we went to the town. It's called Oregon, Illinois, and they have a dam there on the Rock River, and it's one of their stops on their migration. So I think that will be cool to use these. I didn't see any manatees. I didn't see a big snake, so I'm thinking this is more than enough critters to put on here. So I have my little turtle. I have an alligator. Turtle kind of gets lost. I think I'm going to move the turtle. Let's put the turtle down here. All right, now let's see what we have for the other embellishments. Happy Day would work. We have moments. Oh, I like Paradise Found. We could put that up there. It's pulling a little bit more of the blue in. Like right there. Paradise Found. I have this little bull clip, and we could add that to like the top of the notes that we're going to be doing. And moments. We didn't have a toucan. Discover new places. So now I'm just going through and adding and embellishing the different coordinates. So I have discover new places by the building and by their sign. So now I have this one decorated, I have this one decorated. Now I want to come down and decorate this one, and I'm now getting my triangle going. So I need more down here. And again, I can do that with my title. We could do captured moments. Or I could spell out Snook Haven, but I do have Snook Haven up there. So I really don't need to have Snook Haven again. We could do a little getaway adventure. I mean, it was just the Dan and his sister and I. Let's see if I can peel this up without totally ruining everything. I can always move my bird and my turtle. All right, so if we do little getaway adventure, I don't want to cover up my alligator. We're going to talk about our little getaway there. And now I can add him. Actually, we'll add the turtle back here. And where can we add him back? We can add him back up here. All right, so now I want to do a little bit more around this because I've got lump and bump here. I've got lump and bump there. I don't have any lump and bump here. It just needs a little something. So I think what I'm going to add is a little floral. I just need to go up here. I'm just trying to use them from my sheet that has already been started. And now I can go and put that there. Now I got a little lump and bump there, and I'm not covering up any of the pictures. Now, looking at this, I kind of feel like it needs a frame. For whatever reason, it just is screaming at me. It needs something, something. So let me look at what I want to do. I'm almost thinking I want to put it on a black frame. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me find my trimmer. And I just have to make sure that my embellishments are moved in enough that I'm not going to interfere. And I'm going to take it in 1/4 of an inch on each side. And again, it's not going to interfere with anything photo-wise because I made sure they were all in. And this chipboard, afterwards, I am going to add more adhesive to it. But I need to do the top before I bring that in. Yep. Just making sure I didn't cut any of the critters off. And now I can go ahead and add that back in. I think this one I got to move in a little. And we might take a little of the alligator's tail off from the sticker. That's okay. 1/4 inch. Yep. All right. And we just need at the bottom. And like I said, I'm going to go back with this one and just add more adhesive to it. There we go. Yep. Cat just knocked stuff down. Well, what are you doing? The only thing that this is cutting off is a little bit of the plate nachos, and that's okay because that wasn't really important. You still get the idea. And now we have a nice frame going around it. And let's go ahead and glue this down. And like I said, off camera, I will add more adhesive to those chipboard pieces, just so they don't come up. And here we go, all centered. All right, so I hope you enjoyed our little look at making grids and building a base page using grids. Again, for me, the key is making sure that your sizes all stay within a certain, like if you're going to go and use 3x3 and 6x6 or 2x2 and 4x4, I try and keep it to those kind of blocks, and then you will find that your rows and your grids will stay consistent. Even though I have 2 different sizes of photos, I have multiple pictures on here because I kept them at the same ratio. I was able to finagle and maneuver them around enough to come up. And again, this is one of those layouts. It's one page in my book. However, I've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 photos on it. And none of them are anything that's going to diminish the photos. I don't need a full page on our nachos. They were good, but not worthy of me taking the time to do a whole page in my layout. However, this whole page as a whole is a great representation of what we did that day. We went here, I can see their sign, I can see their building, we had the nachos, we went on the boat ride, we saw animals and birds. So you get the whole picture and able to grid it in. And again, great way of using up scraps. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. Please make sure that you check out Mel and Moira, who are also playing along with the grid design this month. And I will be back again shortly. This is also using my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit. I'm trying to do 2 twofers this month just so that I can bash. I have quite a bit. And then I have to confess, I bought Vicki Boutin's newest one. I'm going to be taking the Bright and Bold class, and then I bought additional Bright and Bold supplies. Just love her stuff, and I like the brightness of it. And yeah, I just caved and bought more. So anyways, I need to get this used up since I've got more collection coming in the next, couple months. So, all right, everyone, you have a great day. Thanks again for stopping by, and I will see you again real soon on my channel. Get in your room and get scrappy and play with your stuff. Bye-bye.